What's going on, my Sith friends? Darth Kimchi here. So we are in Grand Arena and we're gonna have a real good show. So if you're new to the channel, my goal is to help you dominate in Grand Arena by the time you get to my Division 4. I have made all the mistakes, so learn from me. Okay, so if there's any big account watching, comment below if I miss anything during the show, or if you have any advice to help all these good people dominate in GAC. Alright, let's get it. So you see we're in round 2. So the 4 things you need when entering Division 4 to make you unstoppable. Number 1, fleet, fleet, fleet. 7 out of 10 rounds, negotiator or malevolence, are the reasons you will win or you will lose. There are whales in my guild that lose because they did not have negotiator, but had a GL, and it happens all the time. They will have enough squads to full clear, but no fleet to hold on D, or an A-team fleet to take out the opponent's negotiator to get a full clear. So I'm going to go to fleets. We'll come back to my defense. Let's go to fleet ships. All right, let's pull up capital ships. All right. So whatever your journey is, wherever it takes you in the journey guide, you know, whether you're going Sith Lord Kylo Ren, Rey, Jedi Master Luke, Sith Eternal, whatever route you're going, you're going to need something better than Chimera, Endurance, Eccentrics, Home 1. Now, Home 1 gets kind of freaky, but you need something better. Like I said, 7 out of 10 times, it's either Negotiator or Malevolence is the reasons why you win or lose. So you very rarely see Finalizer or the Radis, you know, probably in higher divisions, of course. In Division 2 and higher, you need 4 fleet squads. 2 on D, 2 on offense. So you'll see Radis, you'll see Finalizer, but in Division 4, it's Negotiator all the time, and sometimes you see both. So you've got to have that fleet. So please work on your fleet. Save your guild currency for Negotiator. Like I said, let's go to guild currency real quick. All right, let's talk about guild currency. So a couple of mistakes I made coming up. I did not use my guild currency for Negotiator or Malevolence. I recently started doing it. You know, I have 125 Negotiator shards. I almost have it. 2 more battles and I'll have it. But I should have been spending all this currency on Negotiator and Malevolence. You know, which is more fun for you at the end of the day? They both do very well on defense or offense. You know, it's more Negotiators on D, because everyone has at least Negotiator, and they put Negotiator on D. So if you don't have it, I would think about getting it. And then, so I was buying all this gear. You know, you can farm it. You know, not saying that you shouldn't buy it, but you know, I was spending it on the gear. I wasn't buying who I was supposed to buy. You know, in here you can get Hermit Yoda. I should have been doing that. So Jedi Knight Luke is who I'm going for. I need Hermit Yoda. I need Wampa. I've been trying to get as many Wampa shards as I can. I was just buying all this gear, which I do not recommend using this guild currency, which is like gold. It only comes up, you know, like what, once a month? To spend it only on tune shards and fleet. And I know it might be the only gear I will buy from here are stun guns. That's the only acceptable thing you can buy from here. You know, right now I am trying to get Lando. So if Lando pops in here, I'll buy some Lando shards. But guild currency, I highly recommend start doing it now. You know, if you're in Division 11, Division 10, you're probably nowhere near this, but you know, this will be good content for you when you're coming up. You've got to get one of these ships, you know, so make sure maybe you favorite them and you start working on them in the future, but you've got to have a fleet. All right, so number 2, we're going to go to the journey guide. I'll do another show on this whole journey guide on its own, but so number 2, a GL, of course. That should be the first thing that you're doing your journey on anyways, but you've got, if you have a GL, now of course it's hard to do that in Division 4 unless you have a really, really focused roster, you know, maybe an alternate account, or you just already know who to go for or what you've been watching lots of content. So you don't see too many GLs in Division 4. You know, when I say that, there's like 4 Sith Eternals in this round now. So that's why I'm not gonna get the win. So hopefully this helps you. If you get a GL, you basically guaranteed a shot at first place, and then the fleet is going to decide if you hold it or not. So number 3, the most important tunes on this journey guide, other than GLs, it's right over here. Darth Revan and Darth Malak. As you can see, they're shouted out. I don't have them, so I made a huge mistake. I went for Beskar Mando, and he is hot trash. So I totally stopped farming them. I'm sure, with the Mandalorian, hopefully they change it up. But then again, with Bad Batch, I think Arnold put a video out where it's been confirmed they're coming. So they might shift for the Mandalorians. So I used all that resources, all that money on Beskar, where now I could have Darth Revan and Darth Malak. So they're amazing. They're very hard to take out on defense. They're great on offense, but usually everyone puts them on D. If you don't have a GL or something like gas to take them out, I don't think there's much they can take out a Darth Revan squad. Less some funky modding, but it's usually gas, very highly modded Vader maybe, but a GL or something high like gas. So you need Darth Revan and Darth Malak. Everyone has them. Anyone who's number 1 in my division has Darth Revan, Darth Malak. Everybody. So you got to get them. All right, so number 4, try not to make this too long of a video. Let's see, number 4, we're going to talk about rosters, but more of like squads. So not sure if this rings in your mind, but in 3v3 in Division 4, you need 18 teams. That's 18 leaders. I know that just kind of like hit my brain today when I thought about that. So it's very rare for people to have 19 leaders. I don't even have 19 leaders. You need 9 defensive teams, 9 offensive teams. That's a lot. So if you didn't know that when coming up, and in the course Division 2 and higher, you need more. So a well-balanced roster is the key. Now, I would think the average is usually 4 or 5 good teams on D and on offense. And then hopefully that they'll put some trash in the back so you can use your trash or a solo artist. So probably 4A would be a solo artist, Nest. I highly recommend Nest for soloing back walls. I'm very successful with Nest for soloing back wall. That's pretty cool. She gives me banners. She's like a squad by herself. So let's see. Let's go over my squads. All right, so if you have a well-balanced roster, the counters should basically just come along with that. So every Grand Arena, I try to change it up a little bit. Excuse me. All right, so you want to have, people who steal banners. You want to have banner stealers. When you get to higher divisions, it's very rare that, if you have the fleet, you have a GL, that everyone's going to full clear. So how many banners can you get? How many banners can you take away? It's basically what it's going to come down to. It's basically team for team. So I like Commander Luke Skywalker on D. He's been doing well. He counters. So anytime you hit them, they're going to counter, hit you back and steal banners. He gets turn meter. Chupio puts out expose. Blind. Soda. C-3PO. So that's a pretty good squad to have on D. And of course, General Grievous. Everyone puts him on defense. Magna Guard, I like this team here. There's several combinations of General Grievous, but I like Magna Guard to stealth General Grievous. And by the time they get to Grievous, Jordica will do that rolly thing and get a big hit. I've seen Grievous with B1 and B2. Usually everyone uses that, but I feel everyone uses JKR and they just mark General Grievous. But, I'll try that. There are several Bounty Hunter squads. I like Django because he's faster and this team works on debuffs. So with Django, look at his lead. So let's see here. All right, contract. Damage a debuffed enemy 20 times. So you definitely want to have somebody who debuffs when you put them with Django. You can't have someone who does not debuff. Like the Mandalorian doesn't debuff, Grief doesn't debuff very well. So I've got Django with Dengar. Dengar throws out those little grenades, and I have them modded for very high crit chance. The more crit chance, the better with Dengar. 92%. And then I got Boba Fett, who also debuffs with his AoE. So to me, and then they're fast. Jango gives speed, so just speeds them up. And you got to use a higher end B team, I would think. That's why I use them on defense. And then the bugs, of course. Brood Alpha, we already know the Geos. Definitely recommend getting Geos if you're coming up. That's how you get, Wat Tambor. He's amazing. I use Sunfac for the double taunt. Sunfac can also blind with his special. And then, Geo Spy. If you're not Relic Geo Spy, you better. He can hit like a tank, like 150,000 or more on his special. I like Bastila Shan on defense. She gets protection up. Old Ben taunts. Snips takes away buffs on her basic. So it's kind of like a headache team. You got to use something good B team. I like Palpatine, Dooku, and Bastila Shan. They all work together. I might shake it up next round. Palpatine, they can shock, stun. Dooku shocks and stuns. Ability blocks from Bastila Shan, from Dooku. So I've talked to some people in-game chat. They say it's kind of a headache team. If I could get them faster, that'd be kind of deadly. Bastila Shan with Sith Apprentice gives Emperor Palpatine more potency, defense, evasion. Newt's a good little squad with B1 and B2. I've been trying that out. Splitting up that General Grievous team and then putting Dooku with Emperor Palpatine. I feel like, Newt, stealths himself. Once he gets out of that extortion, it could start really messing things up. You've got B2 to remove buffs, and B1 just keeps assisting. Excuse me. And then we have IG. Like I said, you got to have 18 leaders. I don't have 18 leaders. So this is kind of like a headache squad. IG-11's a real thick boy. You've got Queel, who's fast. R2 can stun, stealth the team, put evasion up. Queel puts out turn meter, heals. So does IG-11. So a headache team. To me, it's kind of like a tricky team. Kind of got to have those two. And now, like I said, banner stealers. So these two are kind of like, throw in just in case. Maybe I'll use one for offense, just in case I can't use a Nest solo. Ewoks move pretty quickly. Excuse me. Let's go to my offense. So I've got Nest as a solo, hoping that something on the back wall, they don't use all their, high-end squads. Usually it works out 7 out of 10 times I can use Nest in the back. I got my highest squad, Gas. Depending on who I'm going to face with Shock T, they both work with clones. I'll shake this up. So this round I put Gas with Rex and Arc. I needed the speed. If not, I would put Fives and Echo because they work well together. Then you've got Jedi Knight Revan. He's a must. Everyone has him. He's a great squad to have on offense. Can take out General Grievous. Can take out Padme easily. Now you got Padme down here. She's a great squad as well. So all these rosters, these teams you're seeing, these are viable now in Division 4. Everyone has them. So make sure you either have them or you have a counter for them. So like I said, if you have a well-balanced roster, it'll kind of equal itself out. I use Bosk with the Mandalorian and Grief because Bosk can taunt right away. Take a look at his lead. So Bosk, trigger the contract. As long as you deal damage to the weakest enemy 10 times. So I'm hoping I can use, Grief to mass assist, Bosk mass assist, and the Mandalorian to try to trigger that contract quicker on offense to get that disintegrate. So that's a good little squad. If you know a better way to break up bounty hunters, comment below. We're all trying to help each other out. And then I've got Darth Vader, Thrawn, Wat. This is a great team. Let's keep going. So you have, and like I said, I got to break teams up. I don't have that many teams. You got to have, like I said, 18 teams. That's kind of hard to make 18 teams. So I also recommend up here, up top, divvy your teams up. I've got Moff Gideon, if I need to. They have like a trash team in the back. Moff Gideon puts out Demoralize. He's pretty quick. He's going to go first. Whatever team I use this trash team for, he's going to go first. He's going to put out Demoralize. Critical chance down, critical damage down. Zalbar already gets critical avoidance, so it's going to help them survive longer. So that might be a pretty cool little sneaky offensive team. And then the Sith Triumphant, they should be up here a lot higher. So Sith Triumphant, They can take out Padme. We saw that from my last video. They took out the highest relic Padme squad I've ever seen. Relic 7 Padme and Annie with the Relic 8 GK, and I still won. That was crazy. All right, so now up top, let's go over a couple other things I recommend. So you gotta have, your GLs up here, things that you have to counter with. So I've never faced a Rey. In Division 4, nobody has Rey. And now watch next round, everyone's gonna have Rey. So these are the Rey counters you see on YouTube, like Bit Dynasty, KOA. I don't know if he's pronouncing his name right, but he does all the content of what works, what doesn't work. So KOA, Bit Dynasty, check them out. This is the Rey killers, and then they have Sith Eternal, which I don't have it yet, so that's why I'm losing. You gotta have Vader, you gotta have Wat Tambor, and Shore Trooper. So if you're watching the video and you're still watching, I highly recommend Shore Trooper. He is the counter to Sith Eternal. And if I worked on him when I was coming up, when I was working on my Empire, I should have. I don't know why I didn't. I would have had him relic by now. So I've always have him gear 12 almost. So you have the 3v3 counter, you have the 5v5 counter. I saw it with Kylo, but I think Shore Trooper could work as well. And then Sith Lord Kylo Ren, I have this one down, not a problem. I beat him all the time. I wish it could be Sith Lord Kylo Ren. So 3v3, I have the squad that beats it easily. 53 banners, not a problem. This one down here is for the 5v5. I've got a Cam squad for Conehead. You've got Turn Down for Watt, getting those Watt shards. I put a video out how to get that Watt shard. Hope it was helpful. And then I was going to do something later on, another show about early GAC 3v3 defenses that do really good. So it's kind of have like your rosters broken up. That's very helpful. And like I said, last thing, got to have those teams that steal banners. So well balance is the key. Get these 4 things. You will get number 1 all the time. I promise you. Learn from my mistakes. You will rule Division 4. All right. Well, it's about that time to go. I hope this helps. If it did, hit that like button. Let's all sub and grow together. Until next time, Darth Kimchi, signing out.